and a couple of aquariums and some geese, ducks.
But yeah, Miss Lydia, I am like totally freaking out about your background. You look like you're in the bottle. Like the color coordination is.
Maybe
just...
I am.
It's so true. Yeah. Is it? No, it's not dark there yet. No.
No, it won't.
Okay.
It won't be dark here for a few more hours. I just don't have a lot of natural light in this room.
Okay.
Jeremy Sparkly.
Have you witnessed Jeremy Beard art before? Joe!
Hey, it's
I
Joe!
have not.
Oh my gosh!
What is this?
How do you like the bottle, Joe? I just
Honey,
made it.
I'm home. I was just gonna ask, is this a hookah or what?
That's what
I'm a
Sock
genie
said
in a
too.
bottle, baby.
Yeah, it's I Dream of Jeannie. It's her bottle.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. It was inspired by Jeremy's phone the other day. Made like a bewitched sound, and then I was like, "Oh, I Dream of Jeannie."
We went down the rabbit hole real quick.
Uh-huh.
Joe, it's good to see you. Welcome
Yeah.
home.
All as well. Absolutely.
It's been a long time.
Too damn long. That's for sure.
I'm like, you've got tattoos on your shoulder. It must be warm there. I like. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's like legitimately like it might be over 100 outside right now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Where are you
Yeah.
at, Joe?
I'm in the Black Hills of South Dakota, western
no.
half of South Dakota.
Yeah, it got up to 94 here in Kansas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're probably dealing with kind of the same heat we are.
Mm-hmm. It's all the same.
Yeah. Yeah, that same biosphere. Yeah, it hit us like June, like I don't know, like the 2nd or 3rd of June, and it just like smack, and it was all of a sudden it went from like 50, 60 degrees to
Right.
like 80, 90, 100. So
Well, I don't know how it was for you, but here it just like rained for a month and a half straight.
I
And then the sun came out and it was like
mean, yeah, it was pretty well similar. It was nice and wet, and then all of a sudden it just got hot. So now we're looking at maybe some hail and some
Wow.
70-mile-an-hour winds coming in here shortly. So I'm watching the sky.
you're getting the same storm we're getting.
Yeah, probably, or at least part. I think there's several different parts moving up into one big formation up north of us, or east, northeast of all of us.
It's not supposed to hit us until the evening.
Yeah, ours is supposed to start showing up here in about, I don't know, hour or 3, something like that.
Yeah, the wind will be coming from the northeast, so I reckon it'll be hitting you first, then moving south.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty volatile. So
You got everything
It's the
locked
season.
down, tied up?
yeah, I'm gonna have to go cover the plants and throw the car cover on, and then the weather group's gonna explode here shortly, I'm sure.
I can't cover my plants. I got too many.
Fair enough.
I saw that you had some tornadoes, or at least the group has been sharing about some tornadoes.
Yeah, there's been some. It's severe weather season, basically, and we get really wild weather around June-ish. So June and then August, we get some super crazy weather, lots of wind, lots of movement, and then when it's really humid, we end up getting hail. So, and it is super humid out right now. So, but how's Topia been?
Well, you know, Topia-ish.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we have a bottle now, and Jeremy has sparkles today.
Yeah, is that like, are those
I don't think that
stickers?
reads right.
Oh,
Does it read right?
is it supposed to say T?
No.
K?
VGK.
EGK?
GK?
VGK.
Yep.
Okay, so it does read in
Mhm.
the right order. Okay. Now everything everything today is collectible because in support of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I was like wondering, like, is that seriously Vegas Golden Knights?
Oh yeah, yes it is.
He was like,
Oh yeah. He said, "Oh
Absolutely.
yeah." You
Is there
bet your
is
ass.
there a chance that there would be a Golden Knights game while you're here in Vegas?
Oh my God, yeah, they could be in the Stanley Cup when I'm there.
Oh wow.
That would be the best party ever. I don't know if I have the $2,000 for a ticket they'll probably charge, but we'll have to do something to celebrate.
Yeah, we will. We will.
You kind of look like you got like the rabbi curls thing going
I
on.
was gonna say, like, don't
So
do
yeah,
that very often in Topia.
You need a yarmulke, bro.
where's my?
No, well, I think people like adults that have the curls wear a little bit more than the yarmulke on a regular, right? Don't they?
I guess, yeah, they got,
Usually
yeah.
the whole hat, the whole.
Yeah,
it's not my
there's
area of expertise, so I will
so
reserve.
like,
mine either. I don't know what the
Things.
hat's called.
Oh, maybe Sam knows,
So,
or Sam's dog knows.
Sam, what's the Jewish hat called?
I have a dog that looks like that.
What?
he's all
I said-
what?
I said, what's the Jewish hat called?
Holy crap, it's Teth.
And Kayla,
Wow.
it's a freaking
Nice
party.
to
Oh, we have such a
It's
party!
a party.
We filled it.
We filled the bottle!
Oh,
Yeah.
Tess, wonderful.
Oh, you're talking about a yarmulke.
No,
No.
the
Yeah.
more the
The
level
yarmulke?
up from that.
The level up.
Um,
I don't know what they mean.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
think it's just called a hat. I mean, if anything, would just need to translate the word
Covering.
to.
I mean, no, hang on. The yarmulke is the skull cap that is used in the Jewish faith and spiritual practices.
Yes.
If you're calling something else a Jewish hat, then you are using a wrong term.
So
and potentially borderline culturally insensitive.
Maybe that's very.
yeah,
I'm
of course we are. We don't know what we're talking about. That's why.
yeah. I'm culturally ignorant. That's for sure.
But like the Orthodox, the like Orthodox, they never like when in the shows or the movies that I've seen, you would never see the yarmulke only. Like they wear it, but then they also wear a hat too.
Yeah, when they're out and about.
Yes. And that's just a
Oh.
hat, right?
Yeah, it's
Isn't it?
just a hat, I guess. There's
Yeah.
got to be a name for it, though.
I don't know.
I mean, there's different hats that they wear,
Yeah, it's just a
but
hat.
I don't. It doesn't have anything to do with Judaism.
Mhm.
Okay. What is the name of the hat a rabbi wears? It says it's called a shtreimel. It's a fur hat, or no, that's a different one. That's that big crazy one.
Yeah.
See?
I don't even want to think about wearing fur right now.
It's
Yeah,
just a. It's just a.
Maybe
It's
we
a.
shouldn't be talking about this because we don't know what we're
Fedora.
talking about.
I want to learn. I want to actually know what it is. Leave it to me. I'm here for like 5 minutes. I already fucking stirred the pot.
Ended everybody. Way to go, Joe.
Yeah. Is everybody pissed everybody off? I don't know.
Who's over here stuffing my face?
I'm sorry.
I'm not angry, Joe.
Acidic viewer base.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
For those who haven't met me before, my name is Lydia, and I am always eating.
You are always eating noodles.
Oh,
Are you-
so
are you
is
eating noodles?
Elise. I mean, let's be honest. Elise is
Yeah?
pretty much always eating too.
It's true.
I
I'm
finished
eating
eating.
noodles
I'm technically not eating right now. I'm finished.
Yeah, I definitely finished eating about a half an hour ago.
You
Sorry.
finished eating?
Yeah,
That's a
for
thing?
now.
Aw.
What
I was
were
gonna
you
say
eating,
it's tough
Tef?
cooking now. No.
Sadly,
I
not
just
today.
transitioned seamlessly from one meal into the next.
That sounds like a proper way to do it, Lydia.
I just
This
got
is like-
a bunch of new shirts to tie-dye. I'm like really excited.
Yay, new shirts to tie-dye.
Yay, new project.
Yes.
Caleb, it's nice to meet you.
I'm sorry, who said that?
I said it.
Elise.
Oh, it's nice to meet you too.
And Caleb, full disclosure, before you came in, I started streaming our tea party. So just letting you know that this is on the internet. I mean, it's not huge. You know, we probably.
So
have...
I'm famous, is what you're saying?
That's exactly what I
Yes.
said.
Yes. Yeah. You're famous.
She's only got 40,000 viewers right
Yes.
now.
If someone has to do it, I'll be the fall guy.
Okay.
But no, thanks for letting me know.
Yay!
I guess I'll start my story now that I've got like a proper big.
Now
group
that we're
here.
full house.
Ready? Story time. Story time. Story time.
Okay, so I was on a live video on Instagram of somebody who I, considered to be a teacher, a feminist activist, and she's taught me a lot about like intersectionality, and kind of opened up a lot of new things for me to study and learn, to expand my learning to be more inclusive, of specifically of people of color when you're talking about feminism. And so I always like her content, and I was on her live video, and she was in a vulnerable place. Like, I think a lot of activists online are in a vulnerable place right now, especially with Pride going on. Like, there's just a lot of trolling and toxicity, threatening people that are trying to do the work. And so she was talking about that, and I felt it to be a safe place. And then she continued to address, and it may have just been like a nervous tick that she was having in that vulnerable place. She continued to address the chat as you guys. And, I just communicated my boundary. And I just said, I don't like being called you guys, because I don't, especially if, like, I know that the majority of the people being addressed are women. I just, and so I just said, I don't like being called you guys. Thank you for listening to my boundary. And she exploded on me on this live video with like 200 people watching, calling me selfish, saying, saying basically, like, I'm just practicing my white fragility, and that, like, I was being selfish, and that she doesn't care about addressing the nuances because that's not what's important here, and that I wasn't sensitive. And I understood it all. And I, just responded back, thank you for communicating your boundaries. I am sorry. And that was it, because I understood the context of what was going on. But I felt so bad. I felt so bad in that, but then she said something really powerful, and I don't know if it's powerful. Now I'm starting to think that maybe it's not as powerful, but she said, like, for her to say that, like, the nuances aren't important, because that's been something that, like, I've been kind of focusing on over the past year, is that, like, the nuances are perhaps the most important, especially.
That's the whole point of tea.
Yeah, right. But, like, especially if we're talking about something that's kind of intangible for people to understand, like systemic problems, when it's like, well, I'm not the extremity, so I'm not part of the problem. And it's like, well, we all kind of are because of nuances. And that if we all just start paying attention to nuances, then we can do better in the long run. And then those extremities will also get reduced as well. Because, like, as an activist, I feel like I have to be super sensitive to the nuances, like if someone ever calls me out on a live video saying, like, this is my boundary, like, I respect it regardless. Like, I've come to that new conclusion. So it was, like, really strange that I got attacked, and I think I got attacked because she thought I was a troll. She thought I was just making that up to just say something to nitpick on what she was doing, but like it was genuine,
Rather than open a conversation.
I was trying to open a conversation, and she could have easily just saw my comment and then went past it and just said, "Oh, that's a nuance that I don't want to think about right now." But I got attacked. I got told that I was, which I understand.
Your comment was text?
It was text in a chat among like hundreds of people. So she picked it out among.
Because there was no tone there.
There was no tone.
Was it on Instagram?
It was on Instagram, yeah.
So it's like a quick scrolling.
Yeah.
And like this person is just doing their presentation and they see the one comment and then they totally like painted a picture of who you are and what you were saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she went on to say that she does more work. She was like, I do more activism work than you. I've done more work than you. And I was like, what? That's not even relevant. Like, you don't even know who I am.
Probably not true either, but.
And I would never even compare that anyway. Like, I would never make that argument myself. Like, I've done more than you to make the world better. I would never say that. No.
May I ask?
But how can you show power?
Yes, Sam, please.
Is this similar to the experience you had when you were talking about clipper ships, except you're on the other side of the conversation?
Yeah. It felt very similar.
We've all done it somewhere.
But I immediately said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But she didn't catch it.
But looking at how you responded when you were in her shoes, and looking at how you responded, now you see how she responded to something very similar. Number one, I would think it makes it easier to empathize with her and why she responded the way she did. And number two, just kind of like gives another example of looking at like these types of interactions and how to behave in them.
Yeah. Oh, and then I got reported. Some of her followers reported me.
That was like the cherry on top of the story.
I got reported.
How those things get out of hand quickly just from one person's comment.
Well, the comment doesn't mean as much as the interpretation.
Yeah, and that's where the problem lies. Because like at the same time, if not she have like attacked you afterwards, or like the human being have attacked you afterwards, like you will probably never have been reported.
Yeah.
Because if they take your comment and reacting to it in an aggressive way, then all the other 100 people watching at the same time, they will actually also be like, oh, this is someone bad. I'll need to do something to protect the one I am watching.
Yeah.
And there will be someone that will be like, oh, I need to report them because they are troll or something like that.
Yeah.
So like, you just got communicated. Or communicated.
Who was this person?
I don't want to say who it is.
Well, can I just ask, was this a black woman?
No.
Was it a white woman?
No.
So okay,
was it a human being?
Was it a marginalized human?
Yes.
Marginalized woman.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Did she have a tail?
No, because like it's relevant, right? Like if
Their favorite color green.
Woman and there's like a white person coming in on your Instagram feed and like nitpicking you about guys, like it's kind of okay for her to flip out and be like, I've done more work than you, because it's absolutely true. Like 100% black women are always doing more activism. Like that is their existence. So for me, that's context. And marginalized communities as well. And it's like not my lane. I'm not an oppressed person. I can't really like speak for this other person because I don't know their experience, but for me, it's relevant context as to like her reaction.
Yeah. And that's why I immediately apologized and just said, no, thank you for communicating your boundaries. And that was it. I'm sorry. She didn't see that and continued to like use me as some kind of trope of the
she probably wasn't
privileged
looking
white
for it either.
woman, you know.
Obviously,
So I
she
get
was looking for something specific, and she saw it, and she ran with it.
Yeah.
Well, on Instagram, it's like it moves so quickly. Like at least you know, like seeing the comments go quickly when there's like over however many people.
Yeah.
So
Hi, Lizzie.
sometimes it's even hard to
That's a
catch.
gnarly echo. I don't know where that's
Yeah,
coming
Lizzie,
from.
you're echoing. I don't know if you can use your headphones.
I'm not
No.
wearing headphones either, but it didn't seem to be a problem before.
I
There's
think
a-
it's just the combination of your mic and speakers that,
Yeah.
that does that.
Has a lot to do with the background noise too, for sure.
Okay.
Caleb, you look like you're in like Game of Thrones or something. Like the light
It's
in the back
true.
is all.
The dappled light in the background.
It looks pretty dramatic. I just noticed that.
Yeah, I'll try and work on my poses while I capitalize on this lighting.
It's almost as dramatic as the giant bong that we're standing in.
It's a genie bottle. But yeah, no, everyone thinks it's a bong, so that's okay.
Interpretation. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, but Kayla, thanks for bringing up that context because it is important. It's valid. You know, like I'm not feeling like a victim in this whole story. The reason why
Right.
the even the prompt of the story is not done yet. Like I still haven't finished the whole thing, but that is important context, Kayla. Super important context.
Okay, so story time.
But what's interesting though is I got reported, and so that shows
Yeah.
power that she has among her followers. You know, which is kind of interesting because that's power that someone in that position usually doesn't have. And so it's almost like these platforms is changing the dynamic, which is good, right? Because that's power that usually wasn't there. No, but the reason why I ended up unfollowing her and I no longer consider her a facilitator for me or a teacher for me is because after that interaction, I would have been fine under that interaction. I actually felt really bad. I had a lot of learning to do from what I did. It was selfish for me to share my boundary without understanding the full context of the vulnerability that she was sharing in that moment.
Right.
I understood that and I learned from that. But then after that, she told everybody, don't be coming in here and trying to give your opinion because I know my stuff. I'm PhD feminist studies. I'm not changing my mind. I am stuck in what I am. I know what I know and I'm not changing. And that in itself is a red flag for when you're choosing a teacher or a facilitator. And we've talked about that in this space. About how the best teachers are ones that consider themselves students forever. You know, even if you do have a marginalized experience that only you know, there's always more to learn, right? And you may end up going your entire life not changing your mind, and that's perfectly relevant and fine, but having the attitude of I won't change my mind and there's nothing that you can say to change my mind, I feel is a red flag when you're seeking out facilitators or you're seeking out teachers. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well,
Is that how she markets herself as a teacher?
Well, as an activist, content creator, for intersectional feminism.
I feel
Sounds like an online personality.
this happens in so many different realms, but people see a power flex. She could have interpreted your comment as you trying to flex some sort of power or control, and then has no way to deal with that other than another stronger flex.
I guess.
Does that make sense? I'm butchering the explanation, but it's one of those deals where I feel like we kind of all do it, in one way or another. It's really popular where people that feel called out and they're like, I don't really like it when you try and overwhelm me or condemn me or use some sort of power to subdue me, and then they use that same tactic back as some sort of remedy to the situation. It just doesn't work. So there's emotion going on here.
When the world flexes on you, you have to flex back harder, right? Those are
Right, essentially, yeah. But that's what emotion does to a discussion.
Yeah, Joe, I hear what you're saying, and in this context, it sounds like that person was more frustrated that a less marginalized person was coming into the stream and being like, I'm uncomfortable with like the word guys, when like, as Elise said, she was talking about something that was like a bit more vulnerable and a bit more, you know, and I hear what you're saying, and that is definitely like a reactionary fallback that a lot of us do. I think all of us are guilty of it. And it sounds like in that context, that person was leaning on like, this is an example of white fragility, right? Like this person's uncomfortable, so they want to like come into my conversation and bring up a different topic that's like derailing maybe from what we're actually, and I don't know what the topic was, what you were talking about, but based on what you've said, that's kind of the impression I'm getting.
Yeah.
And again, just reading like a stream of comments, because Instagram is kind of unique in how the comments show up.
Yeah.
I feel like. So it was just like a passing quick thing with like your name, right?
Yeah.
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 Well, if your worldview is constantly this battle of like oppressor versus oppressed, I mean, that's the only equation you use in these situations. You know, if that's like the main thing that you're looking for in life is like who's guilty of hurting people and who's being hurt, I mean, then you'd only have so many options in these scenarios, you know.
I mean, it's
completely
not
understand
so much like a worldview as it is an experience that they live every day.
Right, a trauma response, you could say. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like the way you put that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it is like a very, you know, it's not easy for marginalized people just to like go out to the store and like feel safe all the time.
Absolutely.
Or like, you know, make their opinion, you're not even their opinion, like just to say like, oh, I feel this way, or I would like for this to happen, without maybe being attacked, or and it's not that they're like viewing the world in that way, it's like a reality.
Well,
saying that it's a worldview is almost like gaslighting, right?
Yeah, it's not really like a conscious you know, and it's not necessarily like a chosen, it's not something that's chosen out of malice or something along those lines, but it's the way that they put their world together. It's their reality. Yeah.
No, it actually is the way that the world is for them. And it is very conscious because, like, you know, they are being oppressed.
Right, absolutely.
in their day to day. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Would it be worth considering that is not the only option? I mean, do we?
I mean, again, that kind of sounds like gaslighting because it is just the reality of things.
Well, just opening up that discussion to say, how can we maybe move? Does it just stop there, you know? And they're like, oh, they're gonna be like that no matter what. There's no way.
No, I think the conversation turns around to like the oppressor becoming aware that they are benefiting from a system of oppression and working to change that. And that's not, you know, necessarily like that's exhausting for the people who are oppressed to have that conversation all the time. You know, when they're the ones who are like just trying to get groceries or whatever, and they're triggered, and then they're like suddenly having to like educate someone on their white fragility or on their microaggression or whatever is going on in that instance. You know, and it's like, I think it kind of falls on us, like white people, to like do the work and learn and understand and reflect, you know, like Elise is saying. In that situation, she was like, wow, okay, yeah, I expressed a boundary when something vulnerable was being said, and now I'm going to reflect on that, and I apologize and thank you for bringing that up. You know, like that's about as appropriate as you can get.
Well, as you know, like Sam had mentioned about the whole Clipper ships thing, you know, it was proof that you've been listening this whole time. So, and that's awesome.
Do you believe oppression is binary?
Can you elaborate?
Do you believe it's an either or thing? Like it's
I think oppression is just real. Like that is the reality. It's not an either or. Like it's blaringly obvious.
Is it then how much or how little?
Yes, that's what I mean.
That's another important question right there.
Because like one thing is does it exist or does it not? Another thing is does it exist in a big amount or does it just exist in a small amount? Because like if we do the first thing, that's like, does it exist or not? Then the answer is yes, it exists in my opinion. But does it exist in a big amount or a small amount? That depends on different kind of spectrum.
I was just gonna say, does it exist on a spectrum? Yeah. Yeah. I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe no, that was a good point. I think what Joe was I think I was trying to get at do you think it exists on a spectrum?
Yeah.
It does, but maybe that's not important.
Right. Like intellectualizing about like the variety of it
Mhm.
doesn't seem as important as like recognizing that it's harmful and that people are harmed by it daily. And yeah, okay, maybe like a microaggression isn't as horrible as like an overt murder, for example, right?
Sure.
Or but I don't feel like that makes it less harmful because, you know, dealing with microaggressions every day, it's like trauma response. Like you don't ever
Yeah.
get to just be in that state of existence and joy that like we get the privilege of having, right? Like I am allowed to just shut off everything and like meditate and relax and get into a peaceful state. And marginalized people don't often have that. It's like an act of revolution for them to be able to go read a book in the hammock and not worry about everything and to not like feel that trauma response in the body. So,
Right.
and I'm kind of quoting this woman I was following on Instagram, Ebony Janice, and her whole premise is like Black joy and pleasure is an act of revolution. Because like we just don't get that. They just don't. I was quoting her. They just don't get that experience to like relax and have a down-regulated nervous system. So
Yeah, I might be back later, not to jump out in the,
cool, man.
the thick of things, but
See you,
it's good
Caleb.
seeing everyone.
Thanks
see you later,
Bye.
Caleb.
Bye.
See you later.
Okay, so
Bye-bye.
then on a related but unrelated note,
Yeah.
in this story, right? So like the spectrum of work, right?
Mhm.
Like I've done more work than you. And I felt like that was kind of irrelevant as well because doing the work is doing the work. And it's hard, you know, it's exhausting and it's hard, just like not the same like, but how there's a spectrum of dealing with marginalization on a daily. There's a spectrum. Some people have it a little bit easier than other people, but they still don't have it totally easy. And putting in the work is hard and exhausting. And I don't know. I think it's not so good to try to like tell someone that they're not good enough because they're not doing as much work. But then at the same time, you know, it's to like commend somebody for just putting in a little bit of work is also not the right thing to do either. But just to like constantly encourage the work to happen is like
Don't end up being anti-activist in your activism, I think is maybe a way to paraphrase that.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe.
All right. So, are you making a prescription to this content character or creator? Are you?
Prescription?
Yeah. Well, the word prescription is really useful in situations like this when we're talking about, well, because it sounds like you're prescribing a solution for her to be a better
No.
person.
No.
Maybe.
No. I'm trying to learn from it. I'm trying to learn from the experience for myself. I can't do anything for her. Other than unfollow her because I don't feel like she's an open-minded facilitator. That's gonna,
I understand.
You know, that was the only reason why I unfollowed her.
Got it. So you're not making a prescription. You're
No.
looking at her and thinking, this is not what I want to present.
Yeah. And it's something for all of us in our conversation right now. Each of us are going to do our own individual learnings from it. That's why it's story time, and we're all going to learn something from it.
Sure. No, I'm just making sure I understand. That's all.
Elise,
Yes.
this deal with her saying that I have put in more work than you have, that kind of statement also showed that she actually lost her own word. She spoke too long.
Maybe.
Because she tried to like prove that she was better than you, but she could not come up with any other reason than I've just working with it longer. Like that, and to be honest, for me that is a very weak statement. With I've just worked longer with it. Yeah, but that does not mean you're better at it. So like
But
it's a very
not
weak
relevant
statement.
either. Being better at it is not relevant either.
It is also irrelevant. Irrelevant, yes. Yeah. So like that kind of just showed that she tried to prove too much with too little, basically, which I think is very concerning. Like, she threw. Snakkesprog tale, det kan jeg godt. Ja, tak. Like, she tried too hard to do something, but she actually failed at it because she does not have the right resources to actually prove her theory, her idea, her job. And like, I'm more concerned about that. She did not know how far she needed to go. That is a concern I have now.
I'm not trying to criticize her actions. I'm actually trying to offer it in a broader.
Yeah, but it's not about like criticizing her. It's just about being concerned, because like she's probably doing a very good job at something.
Yeah.
But just in this case, we're trying to. If she had seen you as a troll, she tried to act against that troll.
Yeah.
And then I must say it was well done job. If
Yeah.
you had been a troll. But that is an entire other conversation. The problem is that she tried to do more than she could, which can end up actually harm herself and actually harm the community she's trying to inform about stuff. Because if they see her use a resource she does not have access to, and she fail, and they try to replicate it, then they will probably fail too. And that's where my concern is.
It's
That she have
possible.
now showed off a fail, a problem. I do not know, you probably also do not know, if she's gonna live stream again another day and try to correct herself on those fail.
Oh no, I don't think that she made it very clear that she was confident in what happened and that she won't ever change her viewpoint, or so that's fine. And I'm not concerned about that. I don't care. That's not resolution I'm seeking here. The resolution I'm seeking here is trying to learn from the experience and do better. And hopefully.
Yeah, and do better is also learning when to stop talking, because you have used all the research knowledge you already had.
Yeah. No, that's valid.
I like that.
That's valid.
That's good. Cheers to that. That's good stuff.
Yeah. I don't want to try to demonize her or call her a failure, or I'm not criticizing her actions at all.
Oh,
and what happened.
It's just that one single case. She made something that can prove to be a failure because it can cause harm to others, if not they truly understand what she's doing and why she's doing it.
Right. Well, like not as Daniel said, not as a prescription to her, but to identify, what went wrong on that. Take the identities out of the picture and say what went wrong here and what went wrong here. What went wrong on your end. You can definitely learn from that, but you can also kind of deduce what happened on her end and why you don't want to be like that, and how it can benefit you to act otherwise.
Yeah.
I totally feel you, Tuff. That makes a lot of sense.
I definitely never want to attack somebody ever.
Right.
Like, no matter how vulnerable I am and whatever I'm talking about and whatever bullshit trolling thing someone does to me, I'll never attack them. Like, I don't think that's for me though. That's for me. Like, I don't want to use my platform to do that. Like, I'll block them. If it gets
So
to the
you're
point
saying
where
I
they
need to
don't-
throw out all my weapons?
But if it gets to a point if someone just continuously disrespects me and continuously trolls, then just block. That's it. Like, I won't use them as an example of fragility that we all need to learn from. There's other ways of communicating that, but that's just for me. She's welcome to do what she does. I mean, I definitely felt super insignificant in that situation, especially since I got reported. I was like, wow, there was a lot of power in that people attacked me in addition, from that. But now going back to the thing about the spectrum of work, because I think that does come up a lot, and it even creates resentments, and it's we want everybody to do the work. I could have felt discouraged from that, that I never want to do this work anymore. It's not my place to do this work. I actually do. I feel I don't have a place to identify as a feminist now, which could be a slippery slope, And
I can give you one.
What's that?
If you don't have a place, I can give you a place.
Oh yeah, thank you, Tef. Right, everybody should
called
have a place,
TLT.
including men, right? Everybody should have a place in feeling that identity, you know. But when something like that happens, it's like, oh well, you're white, so you're not allowed, and you're a man, you're not allowed, and like that's not true, right? And I don't think that she would say that's true either. But you know, when you get attacked, you feel like, oh okay, yeah, this is not my place. I lacked tact in
I'm
my
a cis
action.
male. I can still be a feminist.
Right? Yep. Yeah, you can be.
So I'm hearing you say that you were attacked, and I'm really curious to kind of like understand your feeling of being attacked. Like, what was said to you that was an attack?
The voice went louder, like yelling. Yeah, it started yelling, and specifically at me and what I said, and called me selfish. And these were all true. It's true. And it could have been said. I don't know. Yeah, maybe attack's the wrong word. But like getting reported, like that felt kind of attacking. You know what I mean? Like someone that completely didn't understand, like wasn't directly involved. Like that felt attacking. And nothing came of the reports, but it still happened. I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm just projecting like my own judgments of like how I would have reacted. So like the thing with the clipper chip, like that happened. Like I got like called out, and I did not attack in response. I didn't attack. What I did was I like explained myself, and there was like an act of supremacy in doing that, and I identified that like right away. So like I'm just like projecting my own judgment of how you should respond to when something's not right, to not like raise your voice at someone and tell them that they're wrong, but to communicate. And I feel like communication did not happen. Like there was not an exchange. Like the apology that I gave, like the acknowledgement of her boundary and the apology that I gave was not acknowledged. Even though actually a lot of people in chat kept reminding her, hey, they apologize, they apologize, they apologize. And she just kept going and kept using me as an example of the bad guy. And yeah, that's why I felt attacked. Maybe I wasn't really attacked, but I felt attacked.
Yeah, I just wanted to like, I don't know, offer reflection on that feeling, and like also offer the idea that like we don't like need cookies or hand holding when we're like doing the work, right? Like we shouldn't necessarily be celebrated for doing this work that like they have, like other people have to do regardless, you know? And I think a lot of allies and a lot of like people doing activist work like really do want that recognition. And I understand that because like it feels good to be like, yeah, you're doing a good job and you learned a new thing, and I really liked the way you said that. And also it's like, I don't know, a bit more dire than that for some people. Like we're not always going to get a high five or like a you did a good job, you know, we're just going to get like made an example of, and like that was fragility, and that was what was the other word, tone policing, you know, and that, I don't know, in a way is valid. And I wasn't there. I didn't like hear the context of their conversation and, you know, see the response of their trigger and how it was like an ongoing rolling trigger. So I don't know. I just wanted to voice that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm in this group, and it's on Facebook, and it's, you know, a discussion on racism led by Black women, and they are brutal, you know, and it's always like, we're not going to give you cookies for like doing this like bare minimum thing. And it took me so long to be able to like read through these comments and not feel like this is awful. I feel so attacked, and like, you know, to like try to start to understand this perspective. And then like what a privilege it is that I get to like put forth intellectual effort to understand this perspective, you know, that I don't have to actually like experience it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's definitely privilege. And I'm going to continually say this. I'm not devalidating her reaction or her response or what happened.
Yeah, and I don't hear you doing that either.
Yeah. I'm just trying to process it, and hopefully it can be a learning experience for all of us. It was uncomfortable. It was super uncomfortable, and I felt attacked, but that's just the reality of the work,
Mm-hmm.
But there's things to learn from it. Yeah, the only thing that I would criticize, and I do criticize, is any facilitator or any teacher who's not considering themselves a lifelong student, even if their opinion never changes. I think that that's something that I'm allowed to use as a red flag for myself in choosing my teachers. Other people might think differently, and that's fine.
Socrates, I think. All I know is that I know nothing. I think is the
Yeah, it's
smart,
a recurring theme.
smart people figured this out a long time ago to stay learning, right?
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
that was the only thing, because we all have something to learn. And if you do want to apply that spectrum to it, she's definitely on the low end of that spectrum, but she's still on it, but that's irrelevant. But whatever, that only further cements the thing is that there's always more to learn, because even if you are on the far extreme of the spectrum, you may wake up tomorrow and realize, oh, there's actually somebody farther on the spectrum than me. And so that's another reason why it's irrelevant. It's oppression's oppression, but there's always something more to learn. And yeah, she's probably not going to learn it from me. I wasn't trying to teach anything. I was just putting my boundary out there. I wasn't even expecting my boundary to be acknowledged. I was just putting it out there, but it was acknowledged, and it was triggering. And but I apologized. I'm a little heartbroken that she didn't see that, but it's whatever. She doesn't have to. I don't need that validation. That's not the right word. I'm not entitled that at all. So yeah, that was the story. Thanks for listening. Thanks for processing it with me. I hope you all learned something.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it to the table.
But yeah, I don't like being called a guy.
To the bottle.
Thanks for bringing it to the bottle.
Then I would like to know, what do you want to be called when guy is not the proper term when you are in part of a group?
Y'all, I think that's cute. That's endearing. Y'all or you all or
Hey,
guys
friends.
and girls. Because I do call people guys. I will address a group as guys if it's a bunch of guys.
The guys
Rosie's
goes
not
beyond
sure.
in between.
She's back and forth. They are back and forth.
And I understand it's like a figure of speech, or it's just language and it's nuanced, but
I don't know about just language. That's
How could it be more?
no, I'm just saying language.
The word just.
To say language.
minimize it.
Oh, I see.
Mere language, when it really it's the
It's a tone that's contested.
it's the logos. It is pretty much everything. So
Yeah, Joe, I heard you say don't reduce it to just language, because
Yeah.
everything comes from this word. Words are magic. Is that along the lines?
spelling, you got it.
Okay.
Yeah, be careful what you say. And I promise you, coming from somebody who for at least 25 years paid no attention to what they said, it is a huge benefit to learn to pay attention to what you say. It's a massive benefit to one's life and one's community.
Yeah, words are important.
Yes, they are. That is for sure.
Then I want to use a very powerful word that will affect you all no matter what.
What's that?
I would like to call you all. You are loved.
What do you
Thanks,
call
Tab.
us?
You are loved.
Y'all's loved.
Y'all are loved.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people are like, well, what should I use instead? And it's like, well, just rephrase the whole entire sentiment. It's not just like we have this mechanical view of like, okay, well, I'll take this word out and I'll put a new one in that exact same spot. And it's like, well, just learn how to speak differently, come from a different perspective. Don't try and just transplant some other word in there,
Yeah.
So
Greetings, fellow Topians.
however you got to do it.
How are thee?
Have you noticed that some of the worst vegan food is when they try to take meat and make it into vegan food? Like, it's awful. But if you ask a vegan to make a salad, it's the best salad you've ever had. It's unreal. But when you it's that transplanting thing. Like, don't try to approach it at a different angle.
Absolutely. I love vegan food when it's like authentically vegan cuisine, but when you try and make it like carnivorous cuisine in vegan form, it doesn't work. It's like American Chinese food is fucking nothing like real Chinese food,
It is deep fried beyond compare.
Right.
That whole stream Elise did about Panda Express and stuff. That was interesting.
I missed that one.
It's authentic. It's real. It's not made of plastic. Come on. I know that was so empowering. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I loved it a lot. Because there is so much of a fascination of like, authentic has to be just like this, and it's like, no, authentic just is, and
just
the
good.
idea of authenticity is constantly changing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Culture is alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not a static thing. But also, cuisine is interesting because it is not, how do I put this? It's not something that's arbitrarily attributed from without. It's actually it's like apples coming out of the tree. Cuisine is just as much contextual and part of that environment as the language and the ecosystem and the animals and the plants and the, you know what I'm saying? So like truly authentic, let's say Chinese cuisine is a product of that environment and the way those people live and the way they think and the way that their bodies work and the way that they nourish themselves. And there's so much more to it than just like, oh, I'm going to do this in the style of this,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can still make Chinese cuisine even if I'm not Chinese.
Absolutely, but you will inevitably become, I mean, you could look at it like you will inevitably become more Chinese the more Chinese cuisine you eat. Not geographically Chinese, but you will absorb those.
But cultural.
Jeremy?
So it's cultural. I will become more Chinese.
Yeah, even beyond.
Then,
how do I put that?
When I say culture, it's more like knowledge about the food they're using, knowledge about the plant they're using, knowledge about the history, knowledge about the way it is done, knowledge about when it is used, like all that knowledge, all that culture around it. Is
also,
becoming
your behavior will change even without the knowledge. Your bodily functions will change. Your mental processes will change.
Come on, I'm already broken, and you were telling me I'm already gonna change more.
Having no context on this conversation, I can say that I've eaten a lot of Chinese food, and I am still not Chinese.
It's American Chinese food.
You're too deep fried, Sam. You're too deep fried.
I've also eaten a lot of sushi, and I'm definitely not Japanese.
That will also make you a fish.
Not all sushi has fish in it, though.
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of sushi doesn't have fish in it anymore.
Yeah. Well,
vinegar rice.
even by that logic, like I've had sushi one night and then the next day gone swimming, and I definitely didn't swim faster.
I just want to share something that made me very happy.
Yeah.
I got a new AC unit yesterday, and I've got it plugged into the same outlet as my water kettle, and I was worried that I couldn't run both at the same time, but I just made tea and I didn't flip a breaker.
Wow.
That's so great.
That is
It's like,
celebration.
we are an adult now.
I am not able to do that with my microwave and kettle. So I am jealous.
Well, I was very concerned because I was like, I should probably find out if I can do this. Yeah, I basically am in a converted garage. I don't know if it's ever actually used for a garage, but that's basically what this room is. It's like MDF walls, and it's just a really big, long room with a concrete floor with some really horrible carpet on it. And my AC situation has not been great. But my husband got me one of those portable units, and I basically did a really rednecky thing with this window, put a bunch of plastic over and cut a hole in the plastic so I could vent the AC unit up. But yeah, it's great. I can.
That's awesome.
My AC and my tea.
Yeah, nothing like drinking tea in the air conditioning.
My hot tea in August. I don't care.
Yeah.
Especially iced tea, you know, because today is National Iced Tea Day.
Is it?
I didn't know that.
I should wish I had known that because I drank like an entire pitcher of iced tea yesterday. Like a gallon pitcher.
Oh, awesome. That's good for you.
Yes. I drink a lot of tea.
Oh my god, it's 99 right now. Sorry, I'm like, I know Elise was like, that's great, but
it's hot.
No, that's hot. 99's hot. You know, we're at like 91 today here, and we're having a beautiful day here. Gorgeous.
and I'm like in an RV, so the AC's on, but it, you know.
Yeah, my
It's not
office
doing
was in a
it.
camper.
It's gonna be 100. It's gonna be over 100 all next week.
Yeah,
That
next
We did
week,
it.
like 116 is what they said for here next week.
We made it to 100.
I don't want to be at 100. I gotta get out of here. I want to go to Oregon, but then it's
Congratulations.
gonna all catch on fire. Like, sorry.
It might,
I don't
it
like
might
it.
not.
No better.
I like winter.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
no
winter's
better in
sick.
Kansas.
Jeremy, I thought you had like horns for a second, but they're like gold leaf.
Gold
Is that
leaf.
right?
Handsome Bab.
I like it.
Gold
Yeah,
leaf.
So
looking
glam.
great, looking great.
There he is.
Jeremy, you're gonna be really popular if you come here and the Golden Knights are still in it.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be such high energy here. That's the
The
truth.
game's happening tonight. Starts in an hour.
No.
That's why Jeremy's getting ready. Are you gonna keep this on
Yes.
for the game, Jeremy?
I'm getting ready for the game. That's what.
Awesome.
Man, I did some thinking yesterday and today.
Yeah.
You say that like this is an anomalous occurrence.
Well, no, it's,
I
for
did some
Kayla, that's a really good thing to be doing these days.
Yeah, no, I'm
glad
like
you can-
I'm recovering from a concussion, so it's like
You
I'm
gotta be
all,
careful.
whoa, okay, I'm so much more worn out by that than I would have been otherwise.
Well, Kayla, thank you for bringing your thinking resources here today.
What did you think about?
Getting back to the subject.
Yeah, let's talk about it all over again.
No way. No, it's done.
And
I'm
then-
just saying thank you.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, thank you. And then, yeah, last night in D&D, I felt like I was really smart. I like recruited townsfolk to help us, and was trying to help the PR of the town speaker, and I don't know, that felt like
How well did it go?
more. I was more involved than normal.
Yeah, no, you were. It
Wind
was good.
wave.
You did a good job. You made
But
an
hey, that
impression on
means-
those folks.
Brain doing better, yay!
Hooray!
Yay, brain activity.
Yeah.
Is that the dog snoring?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. It's good.
His microphone's like right next to her.
That's very loud.
Sparky isn't here, so it couldn't have been him. He's always dozing off on cam when we're chatting.
Nope, that's I have the microphone is sitting in front of Maya's nose.
That's so funny.
I'll sadly enough be needing to go because I have a job interview in like 12 hours and I will need to get some sleep before that.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Knock it
So-
out of the park.
I hope you all are going to have a wonderful evening, a wonderful night, whatever time zone you apply to. And then I will see you all hopefully Monday/Thursday next week.
Oh, Taff, love you so much. Thank you
Good
so
seeing you,
much.
friend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Oh, he said
I got
no.
about 15 minutes before I gotta go teach a class, but I can hang for a bit longer.
What are you teaching?
Today, my last class for the day is Kawaii Draw Along for ages 8 to 13.
Ooh.
Kawaii
That's cute.
Draw Along?
Kawaii Draw Along.
So
What is
that,
Kawaii Draw Along?
It's cute.
Kawaii means cute in Japanese. So this is a kawaii cardinal.
Oh, look how fat. I love it.
It's got a little satchel.
Yeah.
This is great.
My student in my class earlier today wanted to draw a kawaii bird, so I drew a bird. Dumbo.
Oh,
cute.
Nice.
Sounds pretty
So
cute.
basically, I ask my students, what do you want to draw today? And they tell me, and I look up an example of kawaii art of that subject. So far, they have yet to ask to draw anything that there wasn't already kawaii art of, so that makes it easy. And then I break it down for them into something that they can draw.
They're like, could you do a kawaii plague doctor?
Probably. I mean, Squishables has that one covered.
I would like that asset in Mytopia, just hanging outside the cave.
This is my plague nurse.
Cute.
My husband got her for me. He has the doctor.
Cecily.
Earlier, for Brian, I held the mic up to this little void.
Hi.
Kitty.
You're quiet right now.
Yes, he hasn't been meowing as much.
It's like it's hot.
Yeah, I think it's a little warm. He's been very sleepy today. You saving up your energy to torture me tonight at 3 a.m.
So it won't be as hot then.
Yeah. This is T'Challa. I found him eating the food for the outside cats a couple of weeks ago, and I caught him in a live trap and brought him inside.
Wow.
He's cat number 6.
Nice.
You can see he's very high
Can I
strung.
share with y'all briefly a very brief description of the origin of the word guy and how it became
Sure.
guys? Okay, so in the fires, they burn effigies of the Pope, Guy Fawkes, and other arch-enemies of the moment. They referred to the effigies as Fawkes as guys. So Guy Fawkes, that was, a famous character of the past.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people began to use guys to refer to people, specifically men of the lowest and most depraved kind. This was early in the 18th century, more than 200 years ago. So that's the origin of why we all call each other guys now.
Is this like GUISE? It's totally different.
YS.
Like not under the guise of.
No.
G-U-Y.
It's a different
Guy.
Like
etymology.
Guy's potato chips.
Guy Fawkes was like,
Yeah.
the Guy Fawkes mask. He was
Yeah,
a revolutionary. He's actually kind of a cool, figure that people now look up to. But back then, he was kind of an arch enemy of the state or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, originally they were using it to refer to men of the lowest and most depraved kind. And I don't know when the transition happened. I think the transition happened, I had read this before. The transition happened sometime in like the 20th century in literature, when somebody just started using it as a general term for people instead of specifically for a certain type of people. So it's a modern phenomenon.
Well, and then there was also the Goonies.
The Goonies.
Hey, you guys.
Again, another
I don't
modern
even realize I'm
phenomenon.
doing it. It's just it's how we address a group of people. Stop biting my neck.
Ouch.
He's not biting hard. He's just mouthing it.
Love nibbles.
Yes, that's exactly what they are. And he's aware that he's doing it, and he's trying to stop because he knows I don't like it.
Instinct and learning kitten.
He's doing his best.
Yeah.
He's very good about not using claws when he plays with me. He's kind of scary smart. I'm a bit concerned about what we have to look forward to when he's older. He'd be the kind of cat who opens doors.
It's cute when you notice them like trying to not claw on your skin. When they're kneading and they're like, "Oh, that's not your shirt," and they like don't use their claws.
Yeah.
I'm
Most
like,
of my
oh,
cats
you're
will be like,
learning.
oh no, I'm kneading on your shirt. Let me extend my paw to your bare flesh over here.
Uh-huh.
Here,
Yeah.
dick.
They're like, is this your nipple? I'm gonna put all 15
I'm just gonna
of my
put all
pounds.
of my weight of all 4 of my paws sequentially upon your areola. Here we go.
Yep, right there. Or like
Oh.
your spleen. Here we go. I'm
So
stepping
much-
right in.
Much more sanitary way to do piercings, I think.
I had a cat. We ended up having to rehome him because the other cats were bullying him. But he was so determined to stomp on my boob that even if I was sitting up straight like this, he would come up and he would stand up on his hind paws and just shove his front paw against
Ow.
like bullseye. It's like, are you serious right now? It's
Yeah.
not even that big of a target.
Right.
It's extra soft though.
They're like, I get this real nice response from you though. Like I like to be a troll. Like,
Welcome
Right.
back, Joe. We're just talking about cats stomping on our boobs.
I'm
yeah,
just
does Ash have that problem?
Watch it. Hold on. Watch it. Hey, babe, come here.
He's
Real
like, you
fast.
gotta get on this topic.
I don't know. She's
Come here real
gonna talk
fast.
about this.
What do you think about cats stepping on your boobs?
Dude, that's the worst.
For real.
That's a thing for real.
For real, for real.
Like he just doesn't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't. He does not
Like, oh,
understand.
this is comfy.
Like, wow, it's soft here.
It's too consistent to be an accident.
Yeah.
They have
For
to.
real though.
It's like almost once a day.
Anytime I'm
Wow.
like down. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. Like it's the
They,
softest.
they know. They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
They do know.
they're also spoiled, rotten, little domesticated
What?
beings. So
Cats, spoiled cats never.
Yeah.
I would
They're
never
trying to
spoil
take
it.
over the world.
I would never spoil one.
They've got it made.
my
They've got it figured out.
my cat is spoiled. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's
I would never spoil one. Oh, I spoiled you.
I would never.
How old is that one?
I'm guessing 7 or 8 weeks.
Oh, you don't even know. Okay.
Yeah, cats keep finding me. This one showed up about 2 weeks ago.
Showed up, or like you went and got it from the.
No, I walked out my front door to go run errands, and this
Oh.
little black blur zipped away from the outside cat food dish. And I got down on my hands and knees to try and spot it under the AC unit, and it was like wanted to fight me. So I set the live trap. I have a kitten-sized live trap because this is such a consistent problem. And a few hours later, I caught him and brought him into the house. And now I have cat number 6.
And now he's stepping on your boobs and stuff.
He's actually not that bad about it.
Fair enough.
My
He's
other
little
cat,
too, so that helps.
his issue is love nips.
Ah.
He'll like in the middle of the night too. He'll come up and he'll just start nuzzling up against my neck, and then
Ooh.
yeah.
When I
And
was a
then
kid, we had
you're
a
awake.
cat that did that kind of thing where it would like you get 2 licks and a bite.
Yep. My cat Athena, who's 16, she's real bad about bite. She's like, "Oh, I love you so much."
Yeah.
She does use teeth though. She doesn't even care. He also does the thing where he sticks his entire face in my ear and then meows into my brain,
Oh wow.
which Kayla can attest to. He has a very vocal.
It's like kittens and chickens in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys in the same area?
No.
Just my
Nope.
camp is very musical. Lots of ambiance.
Yeah.
There's roosters crowing.
Oh, you said you're in Kansas. Yeah.
I am in Kansas.
Yeah, no, I've been coming to this group to like draw assets for Topia. And that's where I met Lydia. And it's like for them it's, later in the day. For me it's like 8 a.m. So I'm like rolling out of bed with my coffee, like, hi.
I'm like, oh my god, how are you?
Yeah. It's like
This is
roosters and
Yeah.
noodles and yeah, it's a good time.
I wasn't eating a cup of noodles today. I was having turkey with egg noodles.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, and garden veggies.
I love egg noodles so much.
Pretty good. I have a really stupid Kansas question.
Oh, lay it on me.
So I used to live in Virginia, right?
Hmm.
We hated, at least where we were in Charlottesville, hated West Virginia. So my question, this is the really stupid part. Do you have beef with Arkansas?
No, but we
Or-
have a blood feud with Missouri.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was about to say, is it
A blood feud?
That
I
sounds
told
They have
right.
that town, right?
I told you. it was
Kansas
a
City
really
is
stupid
actually in
question.
Missouri, and that pisses us off so much.
Oh, I
Well,
thought it
it's
was
kind
like
of in
half
Kansas
and half.
too, right?
Part of it.
But yeah, actually, historically, Kansas and Missouri were at war.
Oh.
That's how Kansas got the nickname Bloody Kansas.
Shoot.
Yeah, we were ferocious back in the day.
I have to say, South Dakota does not give a shit about North Dakota.
Well, there's only like 3 people there, so
North Dakota sucks. So
They're like,
I joke that I've never met anybody else from Kansas on here because I'm the only person who actually lives in Kansas.
yeah, that's kind of how I feel when there are people who are like, "Oh yeah, I've been there," and I'm like, "How in the hell did you find the middle of nowhere?"
We took a whole field trip. Our whole after school program. We had a summer program a few years back. We took them all up, took them through the Badlands.
Oh, nice.
Took them to Bear Lodge. Took them.
Did you go to Mount Rushmore and stuff?
We went to Mount Rushmore. But Crazy Horse was awesome.
Yeah.
That was.
There are things that you should see once in your life, but once you live here, you're like, yeah, there's so much cooler shit to go.
I gotta get my husband up to see Crazy Horse, but coming back from Bear Lodge was a 14-hour drive, and they stuck me in the back of the bus.
wow.
That's where all the cool kids sit.
Yeah.
She's all, yeah, just me.
Yeah, it reorganized some of my internal organs. But
Yeah, I was gonna say motion sickness.
Oh, it took me weeks to recover from that.
That's funny.
Dang.
Well, that's cool. So you've been to the middle of nowhere. I appreciate that. You came from the middle of nowhere to
Yes,
the
we,
middle.
we drove all the way from the middle of nowhere to another middle of nowhere
That's awesome.
because that's how we roll.
That takes me back to
Well, I
the
was
front
gonna
of
go
the
off in
bus,
like a
back in the
minute.
bus wars, the marching band.
Marching band.
Yeah, I
Hey,
just
front of
not
the bus.
the after school
You
program
suck.
this year, the summer program. I mean,
That's awesome.
after an entire school year of doing the after school program with the COVID restrictions, I was like, I told my boss, I said, Angela, I love you, but I need a break.
That actually brings up a good idea. I loved my summer programs because I was like a latchkey kid. You know what I mean? I'm an only child, single mom, and so like my after school and summer programs were awesome. I mean, it was some of the favorite parts of my childhood, and that makes me think of like maybe helping out with some of the ones around here.
It's very rewarding.
Cool
it's very
idea.
meaningful work. Well, that was my alarm. It's time for me to go teach Kawaii, and then that's my last class for the week.
Sweet. Happy weekend.
Yeah.
I
Yay.
told myself
Tomorrow.
3-day work weeks for the summer, so
Do what makes you feel good.
yeah. All right, I may be back.
Have a good
Alright,
Bye-bye.
class. See ya, Miss Lydia.
Adios, amigos.
Goodbye.
Joe, would you do like herbalism? Share herbalism stuff, or what?
I mean,
do
I
you-
definitely could. We could do like, oh man, we could do
Like go on plant walks?
walks and shit. Oh man, now you got me going.
That makes me excited. I would
Oh,
love
I mean-
for you to do that.
I'm like legitimately gonna write that down.
Yeah, I want pictures of Sage and Cedar with the kiddos.
It might take a little bit, but we're gonna have to look into this for sure.
Cool.
Summer program plant walks.
Joe, I want to send you a link to my world so you can look at the cave I made.
Okay.
So whenever you feel like it.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I've also really thought about something I would really like to do is work with inmates if I can somehow.
Heck yeah.
Doing some sort of, be it meditation classes or even religious studies or Tai Chi or just really anything to cultivate the spirit of people who are incarcerated, because I know exactly what that's like, and I know how lacking it is in there for those resources. I mean, you could get a book sent to you, but that's the only help you're going to get in that realm. You know, you'd have to do it completely of your own volition. So it's something I've thought about, you know, make something of myself over the next, 5-10 years, and then approach the Department of Corrections and say, hey, here's where I was, here's where I've come, I want to help, and see what they say.
In 5 or 10 years, you're saying?
Yeah. I need a little bit more.
You don't feel like, okay.
I need a little bit more groundwork, and I want to develop the proper class. And I need to do it in a certain way that they will accredit it, because they're not just going to let me go in there and talk to inmates. It's going to have to be something like something popularly recognized, like you might end up getting in there with like a yoga class or a Taoism class because it's a religion, or there's got to be something backed by science. And
I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people really benefit from just hearing the stories of other people who have been where they are.
I totally agree, but that's not the same thing as the Department of Corrections actually letting me in the building. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, what are you going to do? They're going to want to know everything that I'm going to do. They're going to have to check me out. They're going to have to check out my whole program, So it's like, I'm going to have that all figured out before I even knock on the door.
Like have a good pitch written down?
Right. Basically. Yeah. Yeah. And kind of have my story lived out just a little bit more. So
my grandmother used to talk to inmates, but she had an easy in because it was Christianity. So she
right.
Like she's just like, oh, I got my Bible and I'm devout.
She just holds up the Bible.
He's not kidding either. Like he just lets you in the door.
Y'all know what this is, right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. So I hold up the Tao Te Ching, and they're gonna be like, "What?"
Yeah.
You could show them the Dharma Bums documentary.
Yeah.
Do you know about this?
Nuh-uh.
It took place like in the South somewhere. I wish I had better, more accurate info, but they did Vipassanas with inmates for 10 days. And they saw tremendous results, and they started doing it more so. But there's a whole documentary on it, and it's beautiful.
It's actually the name of that. That's actually a novel, also.
Yeah, by Jack Kerouac.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's called the Dharma Bum. I'm sorry, it might be the. It has Dharma in the title.
The
Dharma Brothers.
My Dharma documentary.
Let me see, Dharma Brothers. Now I'm not giving correct information. 1 second. The Dharma Brothers is a documentary film released in 2007 about a prison meditation program at Donaldson Correctional Facility near Bessemer, Alabama. Yeah. Okay, I was almost right.
Dharma Brothers.
Okay. But I don't know, maybe that would help you in finding some material to like present. Not that I just heard you say you're not ready to do this right now, but
I
feel like encouraging of like I was just seeing your posts on Facebook of your booth with your business at like the market, and I'm like, people who are in prison feeling unheard and completely stigmatized, like would maybe feel some excitement to hear you talk about your journey to even just having a booth at a farmer's market. Because like that's, in my opinion, it's like amazing, but it's also just kind of simple, and it's not incredibly extraordinary.
That's
like it is,
point.
But it's not.
That's a fair point. I see exactly where you're coming from, where it's like it's humble, yet it's not extravagant. It's not like, well, I'll never be that guy.
It's not like I became a multimillionaire and now I have this like my keynote, workshop coming up.
Right. Right. No, I totally dig that. Yeah.
And this is
actually, I got pulled over one time during the Sturgis rally, and the cop that pulled me over, they're all over during the rally, and she was like, I'm part of the drug enforcement sector of the police for the rally, and she was like, I have to ask you, do you have any drugs in the car? And I just laughed. And she was like, why do you laugh? And I was like, and so I kind of went into my story about like where I've been and my health condition and all of that stuff. And by the end of that conversation, she was just like mouth open. She was like, you could be a motivational speaker. And I was like, well, thank you. And so that kind of planted that seed in the first place of like, maybe you should go talk to people who've been in your shoes. Because
I'm sorry, I keep getting excited.
No, get excited. I love it.
I'm coming from a perspective of like having recently been in that relationship with that person in recovery and hearing them talk about openly their experience and how valuable that is to like people who literally think their only option in life is to like die in a gutter.
Yep.
You know, like I just can't get better. I'm an addict. I am homeless. People don't care about me. But to like see someone who openly talks about having had that experience and it not being stigmatized.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh yeah, now I have like a steady partner and like a home and we have like a business and like
and it's
that's
something that's
amazing.
like way outside of my realm. I mean, I started as a fucking angry metalhead stoner, and now look at the tapestry behind me. You know what I'm saying?
Look at this hippie shit.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. Basically.
Look at this.
I mean, I've always kind of been into the hippie shit, but nonetheless, it's one of those deals where if you would have asked my 22-year-old self if I would be like an herbalist and interested in wellness and anything medical related, like health related at all, I would have laughed at you.
Right.
We're like, no, what the fuck are you talking about?
My mother thinks it's funny that her like mid-30s son likes to throw tea parties.
No, yeah, I mean it's kind of the same thing where it's just like there is no way I could have wrote this story more interestingly than it has already itself. So, but thanks for the encouragement. I appreciate that because it's definitely something.
Yeah.
It's
I just
something
like
to
to
look at.
remind that like, I don't know, stories are valuable, especially to people who are like experiencing a similar story. For, you know, all of us.
Yeah. It would have been invaluable to have anyone in there go, hey man, you can do this differently if you want. You know, but like with that cogent, not like you need to do this differently, stupid. You
Or
know what I
even
mean?
just
That's-
that like moment of sitting there and being like, I was like this, and being
Yeah.
like, I was so angry, I did such and such, and then this crazy thing happened, and like people hearing those stories and then seeing you sit there right then. It's
Right,
like,
yeah. You're sitting there in front of them, not all strung out and not locked up and having a stable life. And they're like, whoa. You know? Also, nobody taught me I could work for myself. That was something I figured out on my own. I never went to business school. I never did that. Nobody in my family went to college. It was just never a part of my life to be like self-made, you know? My whole family's just had jobs and nothing crazy extravagant. So that was never a narrative in my life. And then one day I was like, you know, I could just like start a business probably, right?
Yeah.
Google is what's up.
Yeah.
Then you just start Googling questions.
And like asking people and meeting people in your community.
Yeah.
And then
You
they're like,
gotta
oh, hey, you want to do this thing for me? Like,
Right. Well, you got to be humble enough to ask questions and look stupid. I mean, there's been so many times throughout this journey where I've sat down with like a business owner in town and just been like, so what do I do? Do you know an accountant that I could use? You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
just stupid questions. But they're already successful. They're somebody well known in the community. And I'm like, hey man, I got no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's still a joke it's still an inside joke between me and Ash, but we were sitting in a meeting with one of the coffee shop owners and we were talking prices and stuff like that for our teas. And I said QP, instead of quarter pound or whatever, or 113 grams or whatever, you know what I mean? I just used straight drug lingo. I don't think he picked up on it, but she immediately was like, what the fuck? You know? And so there's all those times where you have to be willing to look stupid. You know, you have to be humble enough to know you don't know what you're doing, but that's okay. And people will help you. And in fact, they would love to help you.
yeah.
People are so nice when you ask for help. I mean, it makes them feel valuable and empowered as well, you know? So
I was going to say, I know an accountant.
That took us a while to get that all figured out. I found my bookkeeper on QuickBooks. Like,
He's got a snoozy dog.
Yeah,
Annoying dog.
you've been hanging out with a bookkeeper every week for the last year, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's like, so you come from drug culture, right? And
Right.
street culture, skate culture. And it's like, you don't know where to go for a bookkeeper? That's the last thing in the world you know how to do. You
You're
know
like,
what I
we're
mean?
not supposed to write stuff down.
I know how to hire a public defender. You know what I'm saying? I know how to.
I mean, wait, you don't hire? I thought you don't hire a public defender. The public defender is appointed.
Well, it is, but I mean, you have to apply for it. You have to go through that whole process, saying, "Hey, I don't want my own representation," and then working with the attorney. You know.
Okay.
But nonetheless, like I know how to go through the court process. I don't know how to go find a bookkeeper. Well, now I do, but
Yeah, you've been.
we got an awesome bookkeeper, so I can't be anything but life puts you where you need to be, man.
I want to put a disco ball in the bottle, I think. I see Elise's like almost in there and I'm all,
That would actually be pretty cool. You have to make it like the right size, you know what I mean? But yeah. That would
Yeah.
be pretty legit.
I think the top of the bottle is really awesome.
I wish it was like in frame though, like keeping it big enough that we can all hang out in it, but
Yeah, you can't quite
we can't see the top of the bottle, so.
yeah, you can't quite see it.
So, I gotta play around.
It feels good in here. It's comfortable.
Yeah, it's cozy.
It is super. As
You're
soon as
so
I opened
tiny.
it up, I opened up the world, zoomed out, and I was like, "What is that thing?"
Oh,
This giant purple hookah.
yep.
Where is the hose? You know, hookahs need hoses.
Fair enough.
I know. I was like, I need to make a hose. I could have some smoke coming out somewhere,
That'd be
like
cool.
genie smoke, but would also make it look like a hookah.
It don't need no help.
And you would need a caterpillar.
Man, Jeremy, you are like
Yeah.
psychedelic at this point, bro.
Yeah, you're like leveled up.
Yeah. That is a whole nother level.
He's almost in his boss form.
Yeah, it's almost the final form.
Yeah.
That is some intense stuff.
I'm running out of room.
As per the usual. Ugh.
Oh, Bitcoin.
Oh, Bitcoin.
Oh, Bitcoin.
Like you're not the only one that
I
said
also
that
think-
exact phrase the past couple of weeks.
Oh, Bitcoin.
Oh, Bitcoin.
It's okay. Bitcoin says it's okay. Just relax, chill out, eat some snacks.
Oh, Bitcoin.
It'll all be better.
I got too wrapped up in watching everything climb. I totally should have sold. I was just
No. Just hold. Just hold.
well, I should have sold and then bought back in.
Yeah.
But I was like wow, this
Just
stuff's getting
hold.
expensive.
Hold tight onto your Bitcoin.
I had like almost
Hold
doubled my
tight.
money in there for a minute. Now I'm like negative.
No. See, just don't think about it. Just hold. Just to hold.
I'm good. All my stuff sits. I have two
Hold your
accounts.
Bitcoin
though.
tight.
You don't need to hold. You need a hodl.
I got two accounts. I got one that I can play with, and then the other one I don't even look at it.
Hey, you just take out what you put in, right?
Yeah.
And the rest of it, you just leave the rest of it. Just
Right. Well,
whatever you
yeah.
want.
Yeah. One account's just ETH and Bitcoin, and it just sits there. And
My stable coins are doing really well, turning out like 9% interest.
oh wow.
A lot of income in horses, or
What?
the stable joke. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
No.
Okay, so Bitcoin is in search of a Shiba costume, but those don't
Aw.
exist. So I'm
Oh.
gonna have to make it. So
Did you say Shiva?
Shiba,
Like the dog.
Shiba Inu,
Not the ice lady.
Shiba Inu.
I'm lost.
He's all hold up.
It's like the Japanese breed of dog that's Doge.
No.
I thought you meant like Shiva, like the goddess.
No.
The Hindu god.
Yeah.
No, Bitcoin has no interest in that.
In
But-
cultural
Elise-
appropriation. You've got to have blue fur.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he wants to be a Doge, but you know,
Right.
he's just a Doge, but he's not a Doge.
Right.
But it's kind of hard to find dog costumes for dogs.
Yeah.
You mean for people it's easy? Or
Oh, I can find a people costume of a dog, yeah, but I can't
Okay.
find like
Oh yeah.
You just need to find a baby costume.
No, and that doesn't exist either. So what I want to do is find like a plush toy and then convert it into a costume.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you come across like a really cool looking Shiba Inu plush doll,
That's like the size of Bitcoin.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, let me know. I will reimburse you if you have to. If it's like one of those situations where it's the last one left and you know one of a kind, I'll reimburse you. Yeah, because I'll just like take some of the fluff out. I think I'll have to leave some of the fluff in because Shibas are like kind of thicker dogs, you know. Like
Yeah.
Are those fucking? You got like, what are they called? Like hieroglyphs? Not hieroglyphs. What's the word?
Pictographs?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like the cave paintings.
Yeah. Are you in my cave right now?
Yeah.
It's cool, huh?
Yeah. Well, the only person in here is Uncle Iroh, so it's really cool.
Did you go see the there's a very large array up in the top left corner. Like the radio telescopes?
Yeah. There's a like
Okay.
a satellite deal.
It takes you to another world that's really cool. It's a portal.
Oh, so I'm supposed to click on it?
If you want to, but yeah. It takes you to Symphony of Planets, and you walk around the solar system and it plays the NASA sound of each planet.
Oh wow.
it's very cool.
Yeah, it's by this guy Rudy, who is also a Topian. But yeah, I'm thinking of different pictographs. I got like the topies and the Wi-Fi signal symbol. But
Impressive.
So Elise on the cosplay thing for Bitcoin. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't think this solution that I'm about to pitch is going to work for you because it involves starting over in a way that might not be
Yeah.
might not be so good. But have you noticed that half breeds of Shiba Inus and other dogs
Yeah.
are just literally they're just more Shibas, but they're cosplaying as other dogs. So like it's a crossbreed of a Shiba and a Husky. It's just a Shiba shaped Husky. Like you know, like it's exactly the same. It's just got a little different coloring in the curly tail.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you just telling her to get a new dog?
I'm not. It was just something I was pointing out.
Another.
I mean, she could.
Another, not a new.
Solve the problem, right?
We ain't getting rid of the old one.
Bitcoin's here to stay.
I never said we're getting rid of the old.
Another. You can get an AT-AT costume for your dog. That's pretty cool.
What's an AT-AT?
Like from Star Wars.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole plethora of dog costumes that are available, but
Now, I'm
like,
just looking at weird dog costumes
there's
now.
not like dog costumes of dogs, you know, like you can't.
There
even-
is a Shiba human costume though.
Yeah,
that is
yeah. But they're not the right expression, you know, because the dog.
No, it doesn't look like it's stupid looking. It looks like a fox.
So that's what I'm thinking. I gotta find just like the right Shiba plush, and then just you know cut it up and put Bitcoin inside of it.
You need to get the meme expression on there somehow.
Yeah, like that kind of silly, like the Mona Lisa smile. I think that's the Doge. It's like the Mona Lisa smile. It's like halfway looking to the side with that little like unassumed smile.
Yes. Yeah, sideways smile. Yeah, there are some really cute Shiba dogs in costumes on Google. I just will say that. Like one of them is just in a Wonder Bread bag. It is absolutely hilarious. These are wonderful.
Yeah.
We got UPS guy. Oh man, I can get lost in this.
Yeah, the Google searches that this journey has taken me on have been unique, but I have yet to find the right plug and play solution. Joe, I don't know if you saw, but I got a press pass to the nightclub and bar show, which includes the World Tea Expo.
It's going to be the Tea Expo.
Yeah. Nice. And I'll be live streaming it because when I applied, I gave my Twitch channel and told them I want to do like a interactive walk the show floor experience.
That's awesome. First off, I would definitely be following that one.
Yeah.
Second off, do you have any insight on as to whether they will come back to Denver like they had planned?
No, I know nothing.
Okay.
I would think so, because like that was always their ultimate goal, because their parent company is based in Denver, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
that's their ambition. But I think Las Vegas and Miami are still the only two cities that are like capable of hosting big events that are hosting big events.
Right. Well, we're building a new expo center. They come here in Rapid City.
Oh, Rapid
No,
City.
in Rapid, yeah.
That reminds me, I thought about our little tea festival in August. Is this going to be able to happen? Do you want to
not 2021, but
okay. Why not?
maybe 2022, because I'm just unprepared for that. Just to be
What are we
completely
going to be
honest.
prepared for? We
I got so much fucking shit going on.
set up a couple tables.
I haven't even been here in like 3 weeks, let alone hosting an event. I do want to get into some events this fall though, once things settle down a little bit. We got lots of markets and events already going on. It's been a good year so far.
Yay.
Good.
It has. It's been pretty awesome. Nothing but good things to say.
All right.
Where have you been, Joe?
Where have I been besides like?
You said the past 3 weeks you haven't been there. Is that?
No, I haven't been here, as in.
Like to Topia.
Yeah.
To the tea house.
Yeah, I've been absent.
Well, that I knew.
Yeah.
Well, he was saying like he's been so busy he hasn't even come here. So let
Yeah.
alone having a tea party like in
Right.
real life.
Yeah, I've been
Right.
doing
So like
market-
he's got other things happening that are more important than hanging out with us.
Mhm.
And I want to know what they are.
Especially on Monday nights.
Especially Monday nights.
There's some good news. Some makes my tummy nervous news. We went and looked at our first potential location, the processing center, warehouse, I guess, if you will. So it's got to be finished out. It's still gutted. I mean, we need to do some. My buddy who owns it needs to finish it, but basically he wasn't doing anything with this facility because he didn't have anybody to put in it. And now that I'm showing interest, he's like, okay, well, I'll look into finishing it. So maybe this fall or something, we might actually move into our own facility finally.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a big step. So
It's a
And then-
necessary step, though.
yeah, and then comes like some rebranding and things like that. So fucking packaging headaches and all that stuff.
Why do you have to do that?
So I want to, partially because so that we can be a little bit more I want to be easily integratable into the businesses around here because we don't quite have the culture that does support tea and herbalism. So I want to at least get a few fine threads like hyphae into some of the stores around here, but I want to be easily integratable so that it doesn't take much on their end. I want to have some some nice presentation and have some displays figured out and some blends solidified, and so that I can kind of just show up to your store and be like, hey, you want to sell my stuff here? And get our products kind of all over the hills and give ourselves some sort of foundation. And then after that, we'll probably go for a retail venue of our own. So
Rock on.
Would your facility have the space to do that?
to do a retail venue, or to just
Like in the
so
front?
no, I wouldn't be able to do my own retail out of our new facility.
Oh, okay.
It would be like a processing center, warehouse type situation,
Yeah.
like a package. I hate to call it like a packaging center or whatever, a distribution center, but something along those lines. It'd be like our apothecary. It'd be our workshop.
Yeah. But you
So-
wouldn't why not? Is it location or is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. And it's kind of it's a really cool it's a really blessed situation in the fact that one of my very dear friends owns it, and that would be my landlord, and he is very willing to help us out and kind of get us on our feet, and so it's one of those opportunities that I just can't really, I don't know, I can't look away from it at the moment. So I think it's a next step in the direction of our own tea house.
Yeah.
So, but working on that, definitely. On that note, I still need to send you over a request because I need more tea. So
I need tea too, but not like how Joe needs tea.
I hope you still have a lot of that Nilamali left, because
I do. But
I'm
you
gonna
know
get
what? I am ready for new tea. I am so ready for new tea, but
I'll take new tea. I will play with some new tea as well. So we're just
okay,
using.
so good
a lot
news
of it.
is the lockdown just finished for all of
Okay.
India. So
Good
the
deal.
thing that I've been waiting for is the samples, because I want to receive all the samples before I put in the order.
Right.
And I asked everybody to send me enough samples that I can share, so then we can put in a collective larger order.
Right.
Of course, I could always speculate, because that's what I usually do. Is okay, this is how much I think we're gonna need for the next
It's
year.
part of the job for sure.
But I also want to make it interactive for you and for everybody else to be a part of that process versus just me curating it. I
Right.
mean, ultimately, I do end up having to curate it, but yeah. So I've been waiting for the samples, and now they're finally. Hopefully, they'll be here in time for the World Tea Expo. That would be great. I don't
Awesome.
know how many relevant buyers are going to be in town during the expo. I have a feeling a lot more of the work that I'll be doing is going to be with the nightclub and bar people, which is exciting too.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I'm thinking about doing. I'm coming, if you guys can, or you guys, I'm sorry, you all can, I'm saying sorry to myself, not to you.
You
I may not be
guys.
offended, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
If you all can think of some creative ideas of how to make the live stream from within the expo more interesting, but one idea I did come up with is taking a whole shit ton of ceremonial grade matcha samples with me, and giving it to the different spirits booths, because I think most of the vendors are gonna be alcohol companies and whatever type of companies. That are probably going to have demo bars that they're going to be making drinks and sharing, and do a live on the spot matcha cocktail competition, and then maybe have a prize you'll win 5 kilos of matcha or something like
Right,
that.
yeah.
Whoever comes up with the best one.
That's actually
You could do shots.
Yeah. Jeremy, are you ready for this? Are you ready for the shots?
Do you
I
see
will.
him? He's so
I will
ready.
participate in any way that you need me to.
Could the matcha be in bags in your beard?
So what we should do is just go around to every booth and integrate we'll have a collective all booth in the beard design.
All the swag from the different booths gets worked into your beard.
It'll be the swag beard for the
That's a great idea. Yeah, I want to have fun with it. And I was joking with Eric. Eric's not here today because he's preparing for a wedding, but not his, but someone else's.
I was like, that was fast. Just
I got a wedding on Sunday too.
I was joking with him. I'm like, hey, maybe I'll bring the tea fairy back. This might be,
Yes!
you know. And he was like, that's a hard no. I was like, what?
I was like, pink wig. When you first, said it, what could I do? I was like, pink hair, done.
Yeah, so Jeremy, if you're wanting to decorate your beard, and we could just be, we could be the life of the party, and we'll be live streaming it, which would be even better. Because everybody, like, at these expos, whoever has the biggest camera, like, everybody is like, hey, come interview us, come interview us. So, I'm sure we'll have a good time walking the floor.
Oh yeah, we'll figure out something. But yeah, use me in any way you need to. I'll sacrifice my dignity for viewers.
Famous final words, Jeremy.
Make sure to let everybody know about the beard art that happens every Thursday.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna print some like special placards, and I'll probably include information about the Tea Talks. Well, I'm first going to include information about the live stream of the channel because they're going to be on it. I want to like let them know, hey, you can come and cut your own clips and use them if you want. Yeah, but then let them know that they can always interact with us on Thursdays. I'm surprised I got it. Like, it took them a long time to respond, and I was like for sure that they would have thought it was weird or not appropriate or whatever, but I'm excited now.
All right. Well, I have to take off.
All right,
I think I'm gonna go make supper
I
myself.
think I've ran out of room, so there's nothing more I can do.
It's the apex of
Man,
today's
they're gonna win. They're gonna win strictly because of your beard.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go make some dinner. So
Be well.
definitely. And
All right, fellas, have a great night.
I'm gonna do my best to make it in again next round. So
Cool.
Bye, Joe. Good to see you.
yes, y'all as well. It was good seeing you. I'll be in touch.
Bye, Joe. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jeremy.
Bye.
Hi, Dawn. Sorry, Dawn, I didn't say hi earlier. Dawn's been hanging out.
Oh,
for a
Dawn's
bit.
with us? Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Dawn.
You said I watched some of my old expo interviews. Cringe. Well, hey, Dawn. Now you can feel like you're at the expo with the Tea Fairy and Jeremy's beard. Yeah, Eric was like, that's a hard no. I'm sorry, Lise. No one likes the Tea Fairy. He said that to me. And I'm like, Eric, come on.
That's how I first met you. Yeah, that's, fondness.
I was like, I understand not everybody likes the Tea Fairy, but it's not one of these, like, no one doesn't like it.
I mean, I think the Tea Fairy is awesome. I think it may undermine your undermine your goal of making headway in a very male-dominated space, and inhibit like them taking you seriously.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do a test. Maybe I'll do a test. You know.
Do an
There's
experiment?
3 days. There's 3 days. You know.
Yeah,
I've
so
done
I
it
mean,
before. The first time I went to the expo, and it did not work against me. It worked very beautifully, but I I had nothing. Like this time I have a camera, so like that will lead to some. Don says, "Fuck that noise. Do you?"
You do you.
I don't know. Maybe when, especially if Jeremy is like wanting to dress up his beard, it's gonna.
You gotta dress up a little.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I definitely don't sexualize the Tea Fairy, and that's like an important thing that I don't do. Because once you start sexualizing your costume, then it does kind of devalue in a male environment. But she's silly. And it's vulnerable, and I think that's what people kind of feel comfortable with it.
She's also real educated. And like easy to interact with.
Yeah.
Go for it.
but I hear that as a valid thing.
It is. It's valid.
As well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I haven't done her in a long time. That's why I haven't done it in a long time, because it's just like not necessary, and it is a little devaluing, you know, in trying to like build the credibility. I definitely wouldn't do Tea Fairy all 3 days. Like, I definitely want to like just be kind of like clean and presentable, like not like boss, but like clean and presentable most of the time, but being silly, I don't know, maybe I'll just feel it out, read the room, you know. If I'm having trouble like getting attention or getting people to like talk with us, then, you know, it could be worth a try to do that, because that always gets people to talk to me, always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dawn asked a very important question, and maybe you all have some answers to this question as well. He asked, what makes something sexualized?
We're asking this as Maya's sitting here licking her crotch.
But that's not sexualized.
Yeah,
No.
I mean,
It's
and that's a good point, because it's like a lot of time what's sexualized is just by the observer.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I completely would be just existing in my female body, and a man would just sexualize it. And I mean, the way that, okay, the example I have is I'm eating lunch with my dad, and this woman walks by and she's wearing a skirt that's really pretty. It's like a little bit shorter in the front and like long and flowing in the back. And my dad is like, it's not wise of her to wear that.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? And he kind of stumbled upon his words, and I'm like, because you're sexualizing her right now, because this woman just walked by in her body, not doing anything, and you like are saying it's unwise because you think she's going to be raped. Like, are you thinking of doing that? Like, so I don't know, it's a hard thing to answer.
It is. It's a hard thing. Yeah, it's a very subjective. The only thing that we can answer is for ourselves, you know, and the boundaries that we're gonna make for ourselves.
Right.
Being
Oh,
aware.
and that the bar and nightclub scene in Las Vegas profits off of the sexualization of
Yeah,
Like everything.
they do.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
in-
it's
with,
a
with
bit
that
more
in
of a-
mind,
of a norm.
I would not have my costume with cleavage coming out. I would not have a costume with my butt cheeks coming out. But I will have a costume with like glitter and silliness and playfulness, because in the culture that's different.
You don't want to just go full Ren Fair and just like get way up there.
Yeah, yeah. And it's different everywhere you go. Like when I was in Africa, I would sexualize myself by showing my knees off. Like I could be
Right.
completely topless and totally fine. But if my knees were showing, so it's about being aware of who you're around, and then also being aware of yourself and like your own boundaries. But you know, I think it is fair. And I hate saying this because it goes against what I like truly believe in, that like we should be able to express ourselves the way we want to, but like the environment around you, like the other people's perception, does play a role. Like it's shitty that it does, but it does play a role. And like denying that, it doesn't mean that it's right. It's more work that the community has to do.
And I feel like there is some weight to the energy that we carry. You know, like we could be in a situation where we're wearing something that would societally be considered sexualized, but the way we're carrying ourselves, that's like not what is going through the minds of the people in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that, and I've seen that happen in Vegas a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a woman dressed in what, you know, like showing a whole lot of skin and just really being herself and really being confident, and then like not being sexualized, even though she's outwardly like wearing the same thing that another person might be doing it because it's sexualized, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's multifaceted.
Yeah, there's many layers to it. Yeah, there's not one clear answer.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and I think the tea fairy is just fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a cool haircut.
Hmm. And I have made her costume like more revealing in some instances, but it's like with the environment and everything, you know, I made that choice and created the boundaries through my energy, and I never felt like I was perceived a wrong way. But yeah, at the nightclub and bar show, I definitely would be more like the modest style, but still silly and glittery and fun, but more modest, because I don't want to be confused for a booth babe.
More clown, less stripper hoe.
I guess so. I don't know. It's a funny thing. And sometimes people, they sexualize you. That's why, like, I have that rule on my channel, because, like, I always dress in, like, a t-shirt and jeans. Like, nothing sexualized outwardly coming from me. But sometimes people will just do it to me. And they'll be like, hey, show us your boobs. And it's like, okay, blocked.
So then you pull up a picture of the bird, of the blue-footed booby.
Oh, that's funny. I should totally have that. I should have like a scene that goes across of that as I'm blocking someone when they do that. I'm like, oh, here are the boobs. Yeah. Here are the boobies.
When they say, can I get a boob pic, you should show them a picture of their own profile picture and be like, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
That's all I got now.
Yeah, not bad.
It was a good one. It was a good one.
Did you guys have weird dreams last night?
I've been having weird dreams like nonstop every night.
Recently or all the time?
Recently, but you know, I'm sure it's some hormone thing. But yeah, lots of crazy dreams.
Yeah.
How about your dreams, Kayla?
Yeah, I've been sleeping like, I don't know, 10 hours for several nights. And my brain is like having vivid, I have vivid dreams, and it's like my brain is putting puzzle pieces together. It really, like when I wake up, it feels like work was done while I was sleeping.
Wow.
Meaning you're exhausted, or meaning like stuff fits together and you understand now?
Kind of the latter. Like,
cool.
It's like my neurons are resetting, and you know, I just am pretty sedentary right now and in the dark a lot, so I have a lot of time to think. And then I'm reading Women Who Run with the Wolves before I go to bed. It's all about psychology and stories of the wild woman and how they relate to our psyche, or, you know, and our archetypes. So I kind of meditate on that before going to sleep with the intention of, you know, working with those. And that's been kind of cool. So I'm hoping to come out of this chrysalis, you know, and just hit the ground running, but we'll see.
Flying maybe.
Flying.
Butterfly would.
Yeah.
You will come out of this chrysalis, and you will come out of it stronger.
Yeah.
I believe both of those things are true.
Yeah. I feel like inspired by all of the tea people a little bit, like Joe and Ash having their business together, and Elise doing your kingpin thing. And Sam, like, I don't know, you and Hannah have the cool stuff figured out. It's like teamwork, right? Community work with a focused goal on something, and I look forward to getting there.
You're there. You're creating great things. Look at this bottle we're sitting in.
I did make a genie bottle. There's that. Yeah. I want to create in-person relationships, like geographically close to me relationships, because those are sparse.
I like your tits, Elise.
Great tits.
Don hooked me up.
He's all, I
Shouts,
got
Don.
you.
Yeah, Kayla, that thing that I shared earlier today, that book, Sam,
Oh, yeah.
Daniel, you probably didn't see it either. We're not Facebook friends. I don't even know if you do Facebook, Daniel. Do you?
I haven't had a reason to. I have an account.
You're not regular.
I log in. No, I log in to find pictures from years ago. If it's like, if I take this out on Facebook, I log in, I find it, I log off.
It is a good catalog of all the old shit. It's pretty easy
Yeah,
to search
I'm
it.
trying to get it all out of there, but to properly answer the question, no, not really.
So yeah, I posted a book, and I just learned about that book this morning. It was a complete freaking surprise. I had no idea. Like, I did a podcast interview with this woman last year, and she was awesome. Like, she gave a great interview, and her podcast is really good. She's interviewed hundreds of entrepreneurs, though. It's like one of those podcasts that she just goes on LinkedIn and just interviews lots of people. And she had sent me an email, or her assistant sent me an email months later and was like, do we have your consent to use parts of your interview in a book that Allison is writing? And I said, yeah, of course, why not? Like, I didn't say anything incriminating, and if it's going to help her message, that's fine. I completely forgot about it. And then last week, she emailed me, and I, like, didn't read the email because I thought it was, like, spam, to be honest. I forgot who she was, and I didn't read it. And then this morning, she sent me, like, a few more, and they were, like, urgent. And she was like, hey, this is published now and is really important. We'd love for you to share this with your network. And I'm like, oh, do you want me to mark it for you? Okay, cool. And I clicked the book. It was like a free download. I'm like, well, let me check out what I'm going to be sharing. There's a whole freaking chapter on TLET. There's a whole chapter in this book about TLET and like how disruptive our business model is. And I was like, what?
Wait, how destructive your business model is?
That was societal.
Oh,
Right.
disruptive.
Disruptive.
Okay.
Oh.
Disruptive. Yeah, the book is called, it's something with branding, but it's more about like, it's called Building Your Brand, Make Business Happen in Global Economy. So it is a marketing book, but it's like a legitimate business book focused on marketing. I didn't read the whole thing. I'm going to get the hardback copy of it. But what's great is that she basically like writes out my entire distributed entrepreneurship framework that I'm always talking about, and kind of been hung up the entire pandemic that I've been wasting all of my time in the pandemic not publishing it myself. Like outside of the live streams or outside of any like podcast interview I do, I like wanted to officially publish it so that way it could get like referenced or whatever. But she did it, which is great. Now I don't have to do it. Someone else wrote it. Yeah, it's cool. I don't know if it'll lead to anything, but at least like I can reference a third party kind of giving credit for that business framework.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, there's a free download if you want to read it. I got a link to a free download. But the thing is, like, everybody keeps saying congratulations, and like I'm grateful for that. But like more than that, like I hope people like you know, like read that, you know, like versus just like, oh great, you got exposure, you deserve it. It's like I don't care for the exposure. Like I'm like grateful that like this framework is getting credibility. Like I hope people read it. A few people actually I could tell they did read it, and they're like, whoa, this is really great, this is really cool. And that makes me feel good. That makes me feel really good, more so than just Congratulations. Although I am grateful. Thank you so much for congratulating me, Sam. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I have it bookmarked because I was like, oh, I do want to read this.
Yeah, I don't know. I've like read it. My brother actually read a lot of it. He was like, "Whoa, this book is really great." I think it's like kind of a new style, business marketing book. It's not your typical, boring MBA reading material. So it's official. I am like a business thought leader now.
You said it. It's on Kindle?
It's on Kindle. I'll send you the link.
Or I'm on Facebook right now.
Yeah, you can just go to that. The link is there on the bottom. It's on Kindle, so you would need the Kindle app, or you don't even need a Kindle. They have apps for phones and everything. Oh, thanks, Dawn. Thank you. Yeah, it's a free book. Everybody likes free books.
Read for free. Buy now with one click. Done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it and then come back with a greater input to this conversation.
Don says, I've been a thought leader for years, but he spells thought T-H-O-T.
Wow.
That's one of those that only works when you're coming from chat.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one, Don. That's like, that's a new lingo. I wonder when that became a mainstream word. Because that's
What,
like a
thought?
new one. Thought, yeah.
I recently learned what it stands for.
Oh, it stands for something? Is it an acronym?
It's it's derogatory.
Oh, hell yeah, but
I'll message it to you.
I didn't know it was.
It's derogatory towards women, and it's that something or other over there.
Oh, see, I was typing it out. Now I don't.
So there is
yeah.
okay.
All right, yeah. No,
I'm looking at the Oxford Dictionary.
Oh God.
It's there, and it says early 21st century.
Urban Dictionary published it in 2012.
Okay, all right, so there we go.
It's the Encyclopedia of the People.
Originally coined by Chief Keef.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Keefe. I'll start Kellen's food. Sister heads it over.
And that's according to pinknews.co.uk.
I'm surprised that your leader over there didn't offer up this information, as he is the leader.
He did. Yeah.
Oh, did he? Did he? Okay, all right.
But he says it's okay because I'm a hoe. It's cool.
It takes one to know one. I see.
I mean, somebody's got to lead them. Can't just let them wander around aimlessly.
They just keep getting lost. I can't wait.
So okay, I got a more serious question on this topic then.
Uh-oh.
Is that word one of those things that's being reclaimed? Because like you are hearing it even by like empowered women, like casually to just like, some other derogatory terms also are being like used, and it feels as if it's like one of those reclamation things. Like we're trying to reclaim this word to.
Wait, the word thought or the word hoe?
Hoe. Yeah, not thought. Hoe.
Are we gonna? Is this gonna devolve into a discussion about Cardi B? Because I'm here for it. I'm just making sure. Like, what?
I mean, yeah, she may be a good representation of what I'm talking about. Yes, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not just her. I think it's like overall, like.
Yeah, but she's definitely.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
She's definitely the thought leader.
Nothing wrong with Cardi. I'm not saying that. I'm just making sure I understand.
But yeah, it feels that way. Am I interpreting that correctly in my feeling?
I think so. Yeah, probably.
There's like some reclamation going on there.
Yeah. I feel like it's being reclaimed.
But I don't think it's working good enough because there's certainly like it's very powerful as a derogatory
Yeah.
term still.
Yeah, it takes time. I
Yeah,
guess.
it takes time. You're right.
You got to get from over here to over there.
Yeah.
Don't ever let me back in Utopia.
Oh man. Yeah, I was thinking about that today on my run about like yeah, when is it appropriate or not appropriate? And sometimes like it's not an issue of being appropriate, it's an issue of being empowering. It's like kind of strange.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly don't like to call myself a hoe. I never have.
No.
I don't. But I understand, you know, some other people are doing that, and I don't judge it. I don't judge it.
I have a hoe
Yeah, you use it in your yard?
in the garden all the time.
Good. Yeah. But it's certainly been used against me, and I have trauma from that, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up, you know, because it was completely inappropriate and really demeaning and really, yeah, really bad. It's like,
Isn't there a, like, from like the origin, like when like dark, like trap was starting, the hoe song?
I don't know. I don't know.
Ludacris? No. Yeah. Yeah, Ludacris had a song calling women hoes.
Was it empowering?
Definitely doesn't sound like he's speaking kindly of them.
Yeah, I don't think it's empowering. I
He
think
might be
it's-
speaking kindly of some of their parts, but not of the human being.
Yeah. So then some people, like when Cardi B starts to sing it about herself or her friends, you know, people start to feel uncomfortable. Just like how they feel uncomfortable with like other derogatory terms that are being reclaimed, like the N-word being probably the most, you know, like prevalent one that triggers people. But yeah, Sam, you were the one that put into words that I hadn't really heard that angle before about how it's an act of reclamation, taking the word back for yourself. So yeah, I guess men aren't allowed, unless you're Dawn and you identify yourself as one, then it's okay. But
as a hoe?
yeah, Don says it's cool because he's a hoe.
He's not
Okay,
just a
got-
hoe,
got-
he is the leader of the hoe.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I'm sorry.
He is leading them from over here to over there.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around the corporate structure. Sorry, I'm just making sure.
But like men that are like, you know, in the cases where it was used against me and I said something about it, then they tried to retract what they said and oh, it's actually a term of endearment, you know, and it's like, no, I don't think that you're allowed to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I could do that to myself. I choose not to. I don't want to, but like, you're not allowed to do that. That's not going to work for you. Unless you do openly and actively consent to that. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I mean, some people are into the degradation aspects, but
Yep. And they're welcome to that if they consent to that.
yeah. Lost Daniel.
Yeah, we lost Daniel.
Daniel's gone.
Um,
I need to eat
all right,
and
Kayla.
probably rest.
I'm gonna go make food.
Mhm.
You guys are
I'm making, because it's actually still cold, it's like the last opportunity I've got tomato soup to make.
Yum.
Get it. You got some
Ooh.
nice bread to go with that?
I'm sorry?
You got some nice bread to go with that?
I think I got a couple slices that I'm going to be able to use to make some grilled cheese.
Yes.
But I'm
sounds
going to
like
put, but I'm definitely like putting ground turkey and squash in the soup.
Dude, I want that. I'm gonna make a different version of that. That's a good idea. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. I'm glad you're feeling better, and great job on the genie bottle.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want to leave it in here, or you can take it?
I might move it, but yes, I'll leave it in here if you're okay with that, but I probably will move it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna update it, but yeah, I'm fine
Cool.
with there being a genie bottle.
Okay, cool.
So-
And whenever you update it, I'm happy to replace it with the updated version.
Sweet.
I'm gonna go put it on the far side of the lake, I think.
Nice. Yay. Well, have a good night, everybody.
Okay, friends.
Night night.
See ya.
Bye.
See you Monday. Bye.
Signing off of Elise's stream.
Okay, yeah. Bye.
Make sure you mash the like and subscribe button.
Oh yeah. Oh, thanks, Sam. Oh wow, you're such a good hype man. I don't even do that. Smash it. Well, Sam, have a good night. I'll see you soon.
I will. You too. It was good seeing you. I'm glad you made it back from New York.
Oh, thank you. All right, Bitcoin. Where are we gonna go? We got anybody here on Twitch? I got 2 peeps here. Who's here? I don't even know who's here. Arf, 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 arf. Oh yeah, why are you in such a playful mood right now, boy? Arf, arf. Why are you in such a playful mood? Oh, Daniel's back.
Coming back.
It was just about. I had a power surge. It's just about leaving time anyway, but I did manage to get it working just in time for everybody to go. So.
Cool.
Oh,
Well,
wait,
thanks for
somebody
coming
else just
back.
came
It's
in.
good to say goodbye.
Wait, who else is here?
Oh, Matt.
Matt Murdoch.
Hi, Matt.
Hello.
Hi, Matt.
Hey! Oh, it's tea time. It's Thursday.
Yep. We were just finishing though. We were all just saying goodbye to each other.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're on our way out the
Somebody
door.
else comes to sit down. Like one more cup, okay?
Oh,
How's it going, Matt?
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just remembered it was Thursday and I seen there was people in here, so I was like, oh, I'll drop in.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun today.
Dang it. And I see there's a disco ball.
Yep, there's always a disco ball.
Oh, man, I missed a hell of a party.
Oh, yeah.
Then I guess I'll just head over to Sock Drawer for bingo.
Oh, have fun. Oh, they're not doing the talent show anymore? Are they doing bingo now or?
I don't know, I guess tonight's bingo.
Oh, fun. Well, may the luck ever be in your favor.
Hopefully, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right,
Good
goodbye,
night.
everybody,
Bye,
for real.
Daniel. Bye, everybody.
No power
Much
surge this
love.
time.
We got 2 good nights, 2 goodbyes. Oh, let's go say hi to Grandmaster Ong. It's been a while since I've raided him. Yeah. Bitcoin, you ready to raid? You ready to raid, boy? You ready to go raid? You ready to go raid? You want some more of that burrito, I know, but that's long gone. It was good, huh? You liked it? Oh, he's doing an interview with people. Well, I guess that works. Let's just go read. Give him some love. Melvin, he does on Thursday evenings. He interviews different people from the Flow community. go learn a little about flow. See ya, everyone.